Hello, welcome back to another Unscripted Reviews. Today we're talking about Transformers Rise of the Beasts. It's the seventh installment, I think, for the Transformer live-action movies, including Bumblebee. Growing up, I loved the Transformer movies. 1 and 3 were always, so much fun to watch. 1 will always be a classic, and 3, even though everything about it was pretty bad, the action was some of the best in the series, I think. But it's always have a very special place in my heart. I love the toys. I used to collect all the toys when I was younger. The TV shows, the old one, and especially Transformers Animated. I remember watching that a lot when I was younger. And all the comic books and the games. I'm a huge Transformers fan. I love the brand. I love the character. Optimus Prime is one of my favorite characters, just in general, because I've always loved just characters that just really just do not change who they are. He's a leader, he's always there for those that need him, and it's just, he's always been everyone may call him boring, but I don't know, sometimes you need a really good everyday, everyman, he's a leader though too, you need someone that you can trust, I guess, you can always trust Optimus Prime will always do the right thing. So I've always loved Optimus. He's always been cool, and Bumblebee's always been cool too. So this one is the first main Transformers movie besides after the reboot they did with Bumblebee, because they rebooted it with the Age of Extinction and Last Night, and those were interesting. The fourth movie I used to like, and on rewatching it a couple months ago, it really is bad. And then the fifth one I've only seen once, because I only need to see that once. All I know is that, as time went on, the Transformer live-action movie just kind of kept going downhill, a lot. And then Bumblebee happened, because guess what? They kicked Michael Bay off of being a director, and now he's a producer in all of them, for some reason. He's still got to keep his hand there I wish he would leave. But Bumblebee was great. It was just a refresher to have an actually good story with good characters besides the Autobots or the Decepticons. And it was just nice to have a movie like that it felt like a movie, it didn't feel like I'm just watching it just to watch Autobots and Decepticons fight each other. I'm actually watching a movie for once. It felt really good. And that was my favorite one at that point. Now this one came out, and I didn't get to see it on the opening early day because I was going to see it with my mom, and we watched it, and I gotta say, I think this is my favorite one out of all of them. And I say that because even though Bumblebee is a better movie than this one is, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll have to maybe watch it again to have it. But as a Transformers movie though, with Optimus Prime being there, everyone's there, this is the best one. The first one's a classic. You can never not say that. It has a very special feel whenever you watch it. But this one, it had everything right. I really love the main characters. What's his name? Noah, I think. See, that's how you know a character's okay, if you can remember their name. And his name is Noah. And I like his story, about him struggling to make money, and he's always looking out for his little brother. It's a very good, simple bond that is just very powerful, and I just think, he's always wanting to do what's right. Everyone wants to do that in these movies, but it was just nice. He was a good refresher. He's actually, the actor that plays him is actually really good. His reactions to things are really on point, and he has very good chemistry with Mirage. I think their relationship, Mirage played by Pete Davidson, was really, really good. He's a really good voice for Mirage. That was so much fun. There's a lot of good jokes in there. And RC's in there, and she's pretty good. And then Bumblebee's in there, and then there's Optimus Prime, of course. The only one that I felt was just kind of I don't know why he was there, was Wheeljack. Because Wheeljack wasn't even with them. He was in Peru, and they just pick him up, and then he just kind of talks sometimes. He has one good joke, but then that's about it. I'm I don't know why he's in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, he looks horrible. And he's Wait, he's Hispanic? I don't even know. I just know that like the Wheeljack in the intro for Bumblebee was like so like he was on point with like the cartoon. And I just don't know why they changed him so much. Very odd. He's the only like oddity out of this entire movie. If I'm being honest, Wheeljack is just weird. But everyone else is great though. And the Terracons, like Scourge and his minions, he was really cool. He's played by Peter Dinklage, and I was like so surprised. I saw a clip of that. I'm like, oh, he's playing that. So that was really great. And it just it's the the Maximals are pretty fun too. They didn't really get a lot of time. Like some of them didn't even talk. Like the Rhino guy, I think he said like one word towards the end battle or something. He didn't even say anything. But they're fun, Like I love Optimus Primal. He's great. He has some. It's nice to see some of them actually have like character moments, like of loss. And Prime has to learn to accept humans, because he's not really there yet. And it's nice to kind of see like the origins of like why he cares about humans, And one of the main things I really love that they changed about this movie compared to every other movie is that the humans have always been annoying, except for Bumblebee, But even that one, they don't really help per se. They're just kind of there. It was good characters in the Bumblebee movie, but like this one, they all actually feel like they're doing something, And there are some reviewers that still hate the humans in these kind of movies, and I get it. It's kind of the same thing with like Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong. Like the humans in that one also didn't annoy me either because they always felt like they were actually helping, And in this one, like Noah actually gets a suit and he actually fights with the Autobots because Mirage is damaged. And, the last thing he can do is, like, give him his body parts to make a suit. And it's like a Power Ranger kind of suit. It's so cool, man. And it's like, it's just nice to have a human actually when, if you're going to put them in there, make them help or anything. He actually helps them a little bit, right? He can't do as much. But it's so much better than what Mark Wahlberg did in the fourth movie where, like, he's shooting at Lockdown. And, like, it just looks so stupid. I hate that. I hated that so much. Like, that was a first try effort to do that, and it looks so dumb. This one, though, is so much fucking fun. I love that, and I just love they actually give these humans, like, a reason to be there, right? Same thing with the girl. I don't remember her name, though, I'm not gonna lie. Amelia, I think? I don't remember. I just know she was fine, too. It didn't really stand out. She's more of, like, the archaeological, let's find the clues person. Didn't really have that much of a character. Had a small scene in them with like the plane when they're flying in a plane to Peru, but that's about it. But she's fine. She's a good actor, I think. She did her job. Nothing wrong. Noah though is a standout though. I think he's a really good human character for the franchise. I think. I don't know if he'll be in the next one, maybe. But yeah, it all was like really good. Some interesting pacing issues in some areas, but it never really felt like its runtime, and that's good. It was like about 2 hours long. It didn't feel long though. They're always going to new locations. They're always finding stuff. Something's always happening, And then the Terracons had more of like a horror element to them, like when Scourge had like these little aliens in the back of his back, and they come out and they try to find the humans. Like those scenes were fun. There's a really really good scene like where there's one of those little like robot things are like on the ceiling, right? Or on like a shelf. And like he's like standing still. There's like a skeleton next to him. And she looks over and he's gone. But like how quiet he is, right? And you see his eyes like light up. There's a really cool scene in the very beginning where Scourge the Terracon like is walking in the forest. And you just see his body parts glow up. That's all you see. Like a spirit in the forest. And like he's walking forward. It's really good. It's a really good threat too. I liked how like Optimus Prime and the gang actually couldn't like do anything against them for a bit. It really gave him more of like a presence, like there's actually danger. It's a classic gotta get the MacGuffin plot, so not really much there. Like all the Transformer movies do that pretty much. Gotta stop the big baddie thing and gotta find the Allspark, gotta find I even forgot what this was called. The Terraformer, I think? No, it wasn't Terraformer. I don't remember what it was. It's just a transporter thing. But, like, gotta find that, right? So, in terms of, like, plot, it definitely is more, like, by the books again. But the action is great. Like, whenever the Autobots and Terracons are, like, fighting, it's always fun to watch. Got some actually kind of sad moments in there where some, characters, like, died and everything. And, some of them, like, Autobots, they all come back. But, like, in the moment, though, like, I don't know, like, because they killed Jazz in the first movie, so you don't always know with these characters, because there's just so many of them, right? But I like some of the death scenes were actually pretty impactful. It's like sometimes even if you know a thing's gonna happen, like, oh, Bumblebee's gonna come back, right? Even though he died, it's like it's still impactful, right? Because you still like these characters, and you still like see the reactions of the other people like reacting to them dying. And like, it's always, I don't know. Sometimes you can still do those scenes, and you know they're gonna come back to life, but it's still impactful in the moment, right? I like that. I really liked how after Bumblebee died in like the first act, right? That Prime really hates Scourge. Like I'm gonna rip his head off. Like I love that shit. There's a lot of cool moments like where he's charging, and it's a lot of just good fun moments in this movie, right? Like a lot of good like scenes where like they're fighting or like they're standing off and everything. It's great. I love it. And the end battle scene, some people are complaining about how like it looks dead in there, like the volcanic stuff. Like I don't care, man. It's like if it's as if you were like playing Transformers like in the backyard, you know, like you're just hanging. It's just fun. I think this movie like it's so inoffensive. It's one of those ones, you know, where like you're watching it and it's not trying to do anything. You know, like of course it could be better, I guess, right? Like sometimes, but it's kind of like Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. It's like that one is also like just very fun, you know? It's very inoffensive. And people sometimes like go a little bit too overboard. Like you gotta understand what are these movies going for, right? And I know some people are like, oh well, I wish they could have done more justice to like the primals or whatever, all the maximals or whatever. But again, for someone like me that hasn't watched the show, even though I know how like regarded, like highly regarded it is, you know, I don't mind, right? So I'm that audience that they're probably going for, like someone that likes Transformers. I don't really care about the characters like in that way, like the Maximals, right? I don't got any attachment to them, so me not seeing them do anything is not that big of a deal to me. They're just cool looking, right? And again, at the end of the day, you have to understand they're trying to appeal to the audience member like me, even probably below me. That's probably not even a Transformers fan. But like, hey, kids want to go see it, parents want to go see it. It's a fun movie. It was really fun. I do think Bumblebee still is like a better movie in general, like better character motivations, better storylines. But I'm just, even the better story, even the side characters though in that one, I didn't like as much. Everyone in here was like great though. You know, the human people were great, and the Autobots and Terracons were great, and the Maximals were great. So honestly, I don't have a gripe about this movie at all if I really think about it. And even the plot conveniences at the very end, I don't mind that either. Because guess what? Like, just of course they're gonna do that. It's a space needle in the sky again. They gotta call Unicron. Unicron's great though too. And in the theater, like you really feel like how powerful he is and how big, and oof, it's great. I love it. It's a good threat. It's nice and just typical, you know, bring Cybertron home, you know, and like terraforming. Like, I'm glad we're beyond that, right? Unicron now. I like that. But yeah, honestly, I had a great time with this movie. It's, again, I think it is probably my favorite one out of the entire series. Maybe next to Bumblebee. They're close to neck and neck. Because both have things I like about them more than the other. But they're equal in that way. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe like, we'll have to see. I'll have to watch both of them maybe back to back at some point. But yeah, amazing movie. Go see it if you can. I know it's probably going to not make them a lot of money because Spider-Verse is out right now. And that was a bad timing for that, unfortunately. But yeah, I love this movie. I love Transformers. Go see it. Thank you for not watching because I want to watch this. Bye.